Hello viewers and welcome to our daily bulletin. Up next are the headlines. Cabinet members review socio-economic development. GDP growth forecast to reach 6.14% in the third quarter. Course descends boys singing skills to children in Hội An. Voters in Ho Chi Minh City's District 4 have voiced their hope that deputies at the 14th National Assembly will keep their promises made during the electioneering earlier this year. They met President Trần Đại Quang and other National Assembly deputies of Ho Chi Minh City on August 2nd, who briefed them about the results of the general election held in May, state personnel, the recent socio-economic development and state budget, and the Parliament's lawmaking and supervisory activities planned for 2017. Local constituents expressed concerns over various issues such as socio-economic development, food and traffic safety, environmental pollution, healthcare, marine sovereignty protection, workers' salaries, and benefits for national contributors. On behalf of the deputies, President Trần Đại Quang stressed the lawmakers will fulfill the promises and work with a high sense of responsibility on matters of public interest. Regarding socio-economic development, he said Vietnam's economy encountered an area of challenges in the first half of 2016, posting a growth rate of 5.52%, lower than the 6.32% achieved a year before, and this is target of 6.7%. However, the economy is still on upward trend, he assured, pointing out macroeconomic stability, a better business climate, higher foreign direct investment, and controlled inflation. In terms of salaries of workers, pensioners, and national contributors, the president said the biggest problem to salary hike is the modest state budget, and an important solution is to streamline the state apparatus. The party and state will continue seeking every possible measure to improve the living conditions of workers and national contributors. Another issue raised at the meeting is public debt, which the leaders said must have criteria for assessing its safety level from now to 2020. President Trần Đại Quang hosted a reception for Cambodian Minister of Commerce and Religion Him Cham in Hanoi on August 2nd. President Quang welcomed the visit by the Cambodian minister. He valued the cooperation between the Cambodian Ministry of Commerce and Religion and Vietnam's Government Committee for Religious Affairs. He said coordination between two sides has helped increase the exchange of information on religion and religious policies in each country, and the sharing of experience in state management of religious affairs. The leader said that Vietnam will do its utmost to preserve and nurture bilateral relations, and that Vietnam and Cambodia should enhance religious cooperation bilaterally and multilaterally. Minister Him Cham affirmed the government and people of Cambodia always keep in mind the sacrifice by the Vietnamese volunteer soldiers who helped Cambodia escape from the genocidal Khmer Rouge regime. On the same day, delegation of the Cambodian Ministry of Commerce and Religion, led by Minister Him Cham, and a delegation from Vietnam's Government Committee for Religious Affairs held talks, discussing religious situations in the two countries and sharing their experience in state management of religious affairs. Cabinet members reviewed socio-economic development in the first 7 months of the year at the regular meeting chaired by Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc on August 2nd. The Ministry of Planning and Investment reported during the period the country's macroeconomy was basically stable, with most of the industries growing fairly. Added to this, the average inflation was up 1.82%, lower than that of the same period last year. The country also drew $13 billion in foreign direct investment, while FDI disbursements were estimated at $8.5 billion. However, according to the ministry, the economy is facing challenges, including the impacts of drought and stormwater intrusion, and loopholes in the management of travel agencies and tour guides. The ministry proposed that in the remaining months of the year, focus should be given to strengthening agricultural and industrial production, exports, tourist attraction, transport service management, and the settlement of arising issues in collecting BOT project toll fees. The macroeconomy should be stabilized and controlled by steering the fiscal and monetary policies flexibly, the ministry said. Concluding the session, Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc said creating favorable business climate for people and businesses is the major task for the government and localities in the coming time. He stressed stabilizing the macroeconomy and curbing inflation are among measures to achieve high economic growth for the remaining months of the year. He also pointed to the requirement not to shrink from difficulties, but raise high determination and responsibilities and strive to achieve the highest growth rate.
Vice President Đặng Thị Ngọc Thịnh led a delegation to the northern province of Ninh Bình on August 2nd to present gifts to families with people affected by Agent Orange dioxin. The Vice President offered gifts and 50 million dong, equivalent to $2,250 each, to have 3 families in Khánh Thịnh and in 2 communes of Yên Mô District and in Ninh Thao of Yên Khánh District. She asked the localities to mobilize more resources and organize practical activities for the targeted group. During the working session with the provincial chapter of the Vietnam Association of Victims of Agent Orange dioxin, she hailed the organization's contributions to caring for local Agent Orange victims. According to the chapter, Ninh Bình is home to 35,470 people exposed to Agent Orange. More than 5,730 of them have received social allowances. As of June this year, the province had mobilized over $1 million to help local Agent Orange victims. Financial support worth over $855,000 has been provided for individuals, covering house upgrades, health checkups, free medicine, and production investment. Vietnam is expected to see an economic growth of 6.14% in the third quarter of this year, higher than the level of 5.52% in the first 6 months. The Central Institute for Economic Management reported export value is likely to expand by 6.8%, while the Consumer Price Index is forecast to increase 1.31% in the third quarter. GDP growth in quarter 2 reached 5.55%. Growth was seen in industry and construction, agroforestry, fisheries, and services. Exports increased 4.9% to $43.4 billion in the second quarter, whilst the Consumer Price Index rose 1.35%. The whole year's inflation could be capped at 5% as per the National Assembly's target, the Central Institute for Economic Management said. The institute estimated that economic growth in the third quarter will be more positive than that of the previous quarter. However, the global economy's impacts on the domestic market are unpredictable, especially Britain's exit from the European Union, which will significantly impact the EU, one of Vietnam's biggest trade partners. Vietnam recorded an increasing third child birth rate over the last 5 years, especially in well-to-do families.
The General Department of Population and Family Planning said after 220,000 newborns were reported in the first quarter of this year, up 4.7% year-on-year. The third child birth rate increased 3.7% in the period. In the first 6 months of this year, the birth rate was up 9.9%, while the third child birth rate was 7.5% against the same period last year. The General Department mentioned difficulties facing the population city, including increased rate of third child birth, reduction of the use of contraception, gender imbalance at birth, and limitations in prenatal and newborn screening. The department and localities have taken many measures, focusing on expanding prenatal and newborn screening, training human resources serving prenatal and newborn screening, and raising public awareness of the issues. localities and the Chen Department's chapters were urged to devise a plan towards tackling gender imbalance at birth and maintaining a reasonable birth rate.
The 19 National School Games commenced in Central Nghệ An Province on August the 1st in the presence of Deputy Prime Minister Vũ Đức Đam. At the opening ceremony, Deputy Prime Minister Đam said a person must grow up with rich knowledge and strong physique. Practicing sports helps to improve the health to study and work well, construct and save the country. The Games saw the participation of almost 4,000 athletes and more than 1,000 coaches, experts and referees from all 63 cities and provinces of the country. The athletes will compete in 15 sports, including football, swimming, athletics, and martial arts during the 10-day event in Nghệ An and the neighboring province of Thanh Hóa. Organized every 4 years, the Games aims to promote solidarity in children through school sports, provide opportunities for athletes to improve their sporting talents, and allow them to meet with each other through the tournaments. Bội singing or tuồng, Vietnamese classical drama, is an invaluable art form of Vietnam. In a bid to preserve this cultural heritage and attract more tourists, a training class for children to perform bội singing has opened in Hội An City of Central Quảng Nam Province.
The sound of children singing bội at the ancient house number 39 entertains residents of Nguyễn Thái Học Street every Saturday night. An artistic couple, Lê Phú Hải and Hồ Thị Ánh Hoa, are teaching these enthusiastic young performers using role-play methods. Through acting as historical characters, the children gradually learn the core features of bội singing. The course is running with funding sourced from Hoàng Chiêu Kỳ Foundation. Late Professor Hoàng Chiêu Kỳ was known for his dedication to researching and preserving the classical drama in Quảng Nam Province.
I and my husband want to preserve traditional art forms, especially bội singing. That's why we teach the children everything we know about this art form.
In this class, there's no blackboard or chalks. The teaching tunes are the teacher's passionate singing and movements, and lessons are well-known drama acts.
My parents introduced the class to me. After 2 lessons, I already know more about bội singing and find it very interesting.
The special class also draws the attention of foreign visitors who often drop in to enjoy performances and witness how the art form is being passed down to younger generations.
I learned how to dress, sing and perform here. I will tell people to care more about the art form because it helps us chill out and is part of Vietnamese culture. It is not easy to teach bội singing to children, as it requires a combination of singing, gestures and movements to produce a complete performance.
The course is a youthful activity for children to spend their summer holidays. It's also seen as an effective way to preserve the traditional art.
And that has come to the end of our program. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.